Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Scout Tactical channel. Today a pistol review, and this is a pretty cool one, the Walther P22 Military. This isn't a very common configuration anymore. It's a 22 pistol, but the Military is the OD green frame with the, in this case, the Target 5-inch frame extension, barrel extension. It's a neat model. Overall, it's a little longer than your normal Walther, which of course would just go to there normally at 3.4-inch barrel. But that extra length gives you an extended sight radius and makes for a really fun gun to shoot. Now, jumping into why you would want this gun is it could have gone on all three of my channels. This is appropriate for hunting on some small game, you know, some rabbits and rodents and squirrels and what have you. This is just as important to maybe the guys that are doing some emergency preparedness and want to have a handgun around in case they do need to hunt, or some type of easy to shoot small defense in an emergency situation. And for my tactical guys, this is important because this is an easy way to get your family shooting, or new shooters, because it shoots 22 long rifle. It holds 10 rounds, it's a semi-auto, it's a Walther, so it's kind of automatically cool, and it's a great gun. I haven't ever had any problems with it. Now you'll notice my Walther is a little bit different than some other ones that may be in your gun store shelves today, because they're changing the grip to a new format of grip, kind of that raised up bumps like you've seen on the Walther PPQ, the M2 that I just did a couple of months ago. And that new grip is worth looking at. I do like it on the PPQ, but I have the old style. Now mine, if you'll notice, it's made in Germany. Right there, kind of hard to see, made in Germany, Walther P22. And then over here, Smith & Wesson, Springfield, MA. Now, guys, don't get wrapped around the axles on this. I mentioned a couple of different Walthers that I've done. I said, oh, Smith & Wesson was an importer and this and that. And guys were all over like, oh, no, they don't anymore. Well, they just stopped fairly recently. For a long time, Smith & Wesson was importing these Walthers. They were still made in Germany, but they were being assembled here. That's the case on my gun. I understand now there's Walther America, and Walther's doing their own thing. They're not a part of Smith & Wesson, but even, you know, until fairly recently, if you went on the Smith & Wesson website, Walther was listed as one of their division of gun companies. So don't get crazy about the business arrangement between Walther and Smith. They are kind of separated right now, but at the time of my gun, they were together, just like when they were doing the SW99s and all that stuff, where Smith was importing for them. So a great gun. I mentioned it's 5 inches. A barrel length, and look at that sight radius. Now that's a cool gun to shoot with. Look at the sights on it though. They only come in, and again it's hard to find this version, but in this version, this white dot. I don't see ever a night sight version, but again, we're talking pretty much trainer, plinker, hunter. It's not necessarily night sight necessary. But if you will look down the sights, in my opinion, it kind of leaves some gaps. See that? That makes for a little more precision, but you have to be really on your game, because it's no big deal to can it here or can it here when you're shooting, and kind of throw your shot a little bit. So not super cool. You can see that the sliding frame are normally, like I said, going to be a 3.4-inch affair. This is an extension. It is not ported. You see this on top? Those are lightening to lighten the slide, or the barrel extension, not ports, although they look like it. Now I do know that yes, there are some aftermarket companies that are doing ports that match up to this, so if you want a ported you can, but again it's a 22, so there is no recoil, so to speak. There is nothing really going on here that would, in my opinion, necessitate any type of porting. But this extension goes on. You notice on the factory model, they do offer this separately for about $140. But on the factory 5-inch model, the front side is shaved at the 3.4-inch standard mark. It actually exists at the end of the 5. If you see the extension kits, the side is normally here with not much up here, and that's changed through the years. Sometimes you see it both ways where there's double sides. I don't know. But anyway, mine's a factory 5-inch. You see on this side it has the slide drop, the standard takedown, and the paddle mag drops, and that's on both sides. I love the paddle mag drops. They're actually kind of short in the P22, but in the old P99s they would come out a little farther, and I've always liked it because it's ambi. It's easy to hit with your trigger finger or your shooting thumb. And of course on the PPQ M1, that's how they came out. Now that the PPQ M2 is out, it's a push button American style, which I don't like as much, but it is shootable. Now this gun has a safety. Fire and safe, pretty standard. I don't know why a lot of people get hung up on, does this rimfire have a safety? And a lot of guys like them on the rimfire. I have no use for it. You load the gun if it's ready. You do not pull the trigger. That is a safe state. If you're pulling the trigger, that is a fire or dangerous state, because it will make the bullet go out of the barrel. So you just kind of, that's just my opinion. It is also an external hammer, meaning that the first shot is going to be on this one a double single. So on the first shot, the hammer is down. It's a long, heavy trigger pull at about 10 pounds. When you shoot the first shot, of course, the slide will have cycled, and then it remains cocked, so it's double single. Now on this, it's a super light, short take up. See that? And then it goes. It's a nice trigger. It's a nice trigger in double action. Walther is kind of famous for good triggers. Super thin grip here with the interchangeable back straps that you've seen on the M&Ps, the P99s, the SW99s. Walther and Smith & Wesson have been doing these for quite a while, these inserts. Though remember that this is a smaller frame gun, and though it looks like the P99, it will not take the P99 grip inserts. They are totally different. Mags have a finger rest at the bottom. That's great because now you get a full grip. The trigger guard has the big curve in it, the flat with the curve in the end, because a lot of guys like to put that finger on there when they're shooting. I particularly don't. I hold under, but it is there, that hook, if that's what you like to do. It is super comfortable, and I sometimes, because it's a little smaller gun, I do find myself gripping that way. This gun is so easy to shoot. Like I mentioned, you can teach your son, your daughter, your wife, some friends that are new to shooting. This is a great way to do it because they get to hold a gun that fits their hand. In most cases, I don't know anybody that this would be too big for. And I'm talking even my little 13-year-old daughter, stuff like that. This grip is sized for all. It's low recoil or no recoil, basically. And I don't want to say no because it's not absent of recoil. It's not void of recoil. There's some there, but it's a 22 long rifle. It's the lightest recoil that you can probably imagine. If you know, maybe I guess a pistol in 22 short would be less, but that's not very common. So very low recoil, very low muzzle flash, especially with the extended 5-inch barrel option, a long sight radius, so it's easy to hold, it's easier to aim, in my opinion, and these guys can learn their marksmanship fundamentals. And you yourself can, this is a great way to practice. So you get out there, I know 22 is ridiculously hard to find, has been for about a year and a half, but realistically, you know, you're still getting, if you find them at Walmart or at Academy or what have you, the bricks are still 20 bucks, and the little packs like this, Remington 225, you know, was $11 at Walmart. So the ammo is still affordable at regular price if you're not dealing with somebody that's trying to gouge you. The mags, it normally comes with one today. Mine came with 2, and I have a couple extras just in case. I like to have multiple mags. They do hold 10 rounds. They're great. You can pull down, kind of a unique feature on this that doesn't exist in the centerfire pistols that I've ever seen, where when you load one, you can pull this down, and to always take the tension off to load it very easily. So if you have maybe a weaker handed person or a younger person that's having trouble pushing down on the mag, which that's not a heavy spring, but if they are, they can pull down with this, and it's kind of a little assist. It makes them real easy to just drop them on in. So again, the Walther P22. Now, what kind of value are we talking about? Well, there are cheaper 22s out there, to be honest, but I like paying for good stuff. Mine's a little older, so it's going to have mine was a different price. As a matter of fact, I got it on a clearance special because they're not really doing much of the military OD green 5-inch. It was my absolute favorite combination. Now, it comes in all black. It comes in stainless slide with black, which is very good looking, but a little bit more money. There are some special variations. You'll see this in a carbon fiber, that's a Talo edition. It comes in a pink camo, an urban camo. Both of those are special editions, kind of wholesaler specific if you're a dealer. But look around, there's several different versions of the Walther, and I've even seen them in tan, which I didn't get my hands on. And in probably 05, 06, somewhere in there, one of my wholesalers was selling these like crazy at a great price with a 2-barrel set, 3.4 and a 5-inch in gray. A gray frame with the black slide. They look phenomenal. That was RSR that was doing those back then. and I sold the fire out of them, but I never kept one for myself. And man, they were good looking. I do regret that combination, that not keeping that color combination. Okay, not to get off track, but back to value. The standard version in black you'll see in some stores for about $289, $299, and that's a pretty good value, guys. You're talking about a $300 gun, normally $300 out the door if you can make the deal right. That your whole family enjoys to shoot, and that's inexpensive to shoot, and that has full-size features and controls that'll let you practice and your family learn and practice as well. So what an outstanding value. Now, if you go up to some of the different camos, you go up to some of the different barrel lengths, like there's only 3.4 and 5, but the 5-inch does cost more. That stainless slide does cost a little more, but it looks like all in all, you're anywhere from about $289 to $450, depending on the model that you choose. It's lightweight as well, don't let me forget that, because this is listed at 22 ounces. And remember, that's going to come in right at, or 1 ounce less, if I looked at it right, than the Ruger 2245 Lite. And of course, that gun's $500. So this is a real ergonomic gun that's going to come in at the weight or even an ounce less than the Ruger Lite. If you go with the 3.4-inch version, which is still a great gun, it's only 19 ounces, so now you have a true featherweight. And this thing would be ideal for anybody's hunting pack as a backup, for anybody's survival kits and stuff like that, an in-vehicle emergency kit, some type of bug-out bag, anything like that. So the weight at 19 to 22 ounces, depending on the model, also good. $289 to $450, great. Guys, if you're in the market for a 22 pistol, I highly recommend you go to your local gun store or range that'll rent you one. Try the Walther P22 out. I think you'll like it. It's a great model, and it's a classic. It's a Walther. As always, guys, I appreciate the views and subscriptions. Keep them coming. Scout Tactical's over 1,500 subscribers now and over 150,000 views, so that's great. We're still in year 1, so I really appreciate that. Remember that you can check us out on the web at scouttactical.com. That also has the link to our eBay store, where we have a lot of adventure medical kits, survival gear, 511 gear, Magpul, AR stuff, just stuff to help support the project, and we're selling it at a great price. Check us out. Remember, Facebook shut down the old Scout Tactical pages a few weeks ago, so I've restarted Scout Tactical, Scout Prepper, and Scout Hunter on Facebook. Check out those channel pages, and as always, thanks for watching.